Thank you so much for tuning in and welcome to your very own Try It Before Your Buy channel with your host Karamullah Kadwani. Today is going to be all about the newest release from the house of Penhaligons, the Dandy. But before we do that, if this is the first time you're tuning into my channel or still haven't subscribed but enjoy fragrance reviews, price points and alternatives where possible in my humble opinion, please subscribe to my channel and hit the notifications bell so you do not miss another video. The Dandy by Penhaligons is a woody spicy fragrance for women and men. This is a new fragrance. The Dandy was launched in 2024 and the nose behind the fragrance is Frag-rant. Top notes are raspberry, citron and bergamot. Middle notes are oak, whiskey and cedarwood. Base notes are patchouli and cedarwood. Penhaligons presents the Dandy, a woody ode to whiskey tinged with impertinence. Surrounded by a cloud of smoke, here we are, the mischievous spirit coming from all sides, following the decadence of rowdy heels. Cast aside all inhibitors, my friends, because once you're down those steps, the party will never ever end. Run shoulders with visionaries, rub shoulders with artists, loosen that tie, ready for 1,000 faces, lipstick marks on mirrors and collars, sip amber liqueur in crystal glasses under convoluted chandeliers. Suddenly the stroke of midnight rings out to the tempo of the brass orchestra, trumpets and saxophones beating time. In the dazzling reflection of your glass, here we are in the land of jazz, of swing that surges to the rhythm of whiskey, of bebop that gallops to the beats of bourbon. Oh, what tumultuous memories in this den. The spirits cheerful, the cocktails flowing freely in the misty steam. It's the speakeasy stage in this place, the Dandy, which will forever be ours to dance to infinity. A really nice house with a lot of versatile fragrances. It is really for the fall winter season, so if you're getting up for the cooler days, would definitely recommend you stay till the end. We are going to hit 10,000 subscribers soon, inshallah, I hope, and we're already at 7,000. Thanks to each and every one of you for the love and support. I've only worn this once since the time I picked it up last evening, so it's not going to be a very extensive breakdown but more of like a first impression, if you will. The marketing being put forward by the brand screams inspired by the Great Gatsby and the jazz era-esque New York. The presentation for this one definitely intrigued me, not only because of the inspiration but the notes, and one of my favorite notes are whiskey. Definitely a boozy top, citron, raspberry, etc. We're back, and that was a long shot, so we're closing in now. And so I'd like to show you what I have on display, or rather I had on display, because we're going to do the entire review from this angle, hopefully. So that is a paperweight that I got gifted from Penhaligons, and it is rather pretty. That's what it actually looks like, kind of like ow. Okay, so this comes off like so. I don't usually pull this out. I did once and then I kept it back again because because I am kind of a collector and I'd like to preserve. I think it's a kind of a deer in the picture, and so that's what the paperweight looks like. It is to my liking. I do like sporting brands that I adore. I love, and Penhaligons happens to be a brand that I do adore. I do like. I have a Discovery set, and this is from the Portraits collection. So you have, I'll show it to you. I have a few missing here because I actually gave them to my wife. The remaining samples are here. It's like a discovery set that kind of introduces you to the portraits collection. You have a book that tells you all about the different fragrances inside and a brief on what you'd be able to experience with these fragrances. You have another discovery set, and this comes from the trade route scent library. Also comes in with this beautiful book. It has all the samples from the trade routes collection. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm trying to do my best to kind of show you what I have at hand that I've been playing with. These were quite some time ago, and so on the books and everything I have made a few notes. It's not as it came across, just a few notes, just whatever. I do not like I honestly do not like posting reviews based on samples, because I guess 2 mils of juice does not really justify what a perfume is going to bring to you. I have Terrible Teddy, and I did get this one because I like the ashy kind of leather. This happens to be my personal favorites. Tragedy of Lord George. Let's try to focus. And this is exactly 2 to 3 months of usage. Plus, the way I was spraying this away, I thought I'm going to finish it off, and so I have this backup bottle which I haven't used much of, but I do like my Tragedy of Lord George. It's again a boozy fragrance, much like this one, but a different experience. I love Tragedy of Lord George. Enough ranting about my love for the house of Penhaligons. This is what the travel spray atomizer came in. This is what I purchased from Penhaligons yesterday, including the shower gel. And so I purchased the travel spray. I purchased the travel spray atomizer. I did like this color compared to blue. I will try to refrain from spraying the perfume because I end up having these hyper allergies. The place where I spray my perfumes, if I sit long enough, I can actually swallow. I can feel the perfume in my mouth, and so I'll refrain from spraying it. My apologies. I will show you what I'm playing with, though. It's about 5 mil, and since I was at the boutique yesterday, I had the liberty to kind of overspray the dandy as I usually spray in my house. Kept making me wonder how all these come together and play out. Let's talk about the opening. It's definitely whiskey and very high on the booze meter. The whiskey is the star note in the beginning up top. You also get oak wood right from the get-go. So like the old cask accord used many a times by the house of by Kilian. A heavier woody note that goes really well with the smooth whiskey. For the booze lovers, if you like that kind of stuff, very tantalizing, impactful opening. So where do the top notes come into play, you may ask? Citron, bergamot and raspberry. Shouldn't these be up top? Whiskey, woody, balsamic notes. The oak accord are much stronger and heavier than the raspberry and citruses. It's definitely not the raspberry accord that you get from the get-go in the more Middle Eastern compositions like maybe say Tuscan leather, etc., where they get to be in the limelight from the time you spray the fragrance. That is not what's happening here. You might just barely smell the citruses up top, the way in the background. The citron and the bergamot is more of an uplifting balancer to a rather dark composition. Really up top before whiskey makes an appearance. The citron disappears in the mid. It acts like ice in the whiskey that dissipates rather quick, and you go into like a more settled down kind of warming up period quite early on the fragrance. The raspberry, although you can smell it, feels like it's well embedded within the fragrance. It's down under, lurks within the shadows. You are smelling the oak barrel, you are smelling the whiskey, and under these facets you're getting the raspberry accords that acts like a low-key dark raspberry, like a rather comforting smell that lingers around. Maybe it is because I'm anticipating and my nose is kind of like a hunter seeking for the whiskey and barrel-like accords. But only because I've read the notes, I'm now seeking for the raspberry. Talking about the projection, I would say this is a nice, gracious, lingering draw-in scent, which makes it different from Ursa from the house of Tiziana Terenzi, which is ultimately a beast mode fragrance as per my nose. Made effort to straight to heaven from the house of Baikilian, if you wanted to compare the performance. My first impression, definitely the Great Gatsby from the get-go. A nighttime, elegant, upscale grabber, masculine leaning, but again for the more experienced nose, where some other fragrances, like I said, can come off beast mode, this one's a more smooth, more refined kind of an experience. This one's a smoother whiskey kind of a fragrance with a hint of smokiness coming from the woods, but much more tame compared to the opening of the fragrance. The mid is a more settled down whiskey oak barrel like experience. The raspberry embedded into the fragrance, which lingers for about the first hour or two. Just my experience with the boozy facet lasts more than 4 to 5 hours. So if you're not into boozy fragrances, this may not be for you. Lots of strength and class added to your character if you can carry this. You must be able to own it and wear the scent. Don't let the scent wear you. Let's talk about the dry down post 5 hours. The usual boozy fragrances may end up with some reveal, fruity like amber tones, but this one's not like those. More mass appealing scents. This one goes lights out. Dark, woody patchouli, and they're not very powerful ambroxan, but brings in a rather sexy muskiness that envelops the composition. So if you're more into linear fragrances, also this may not be for you, but it's definitely one to be experienced, though I wasn't expecting too much out of it. Straight to heaven, maybe your torn jeans, leather jacket scent. You may want to support the upscale feel with being dressed up with this one with a blazer and sporting your luxury Omega or Rolex watch. Formal, mature, fade to black gradient, and never really shies away from the whiskey, the woods, spicy nuances with the smokiness. The raspberry is a note that brings in a balance and contrast from the opening to the mid, lurking underneath, underlying berry kind of aroma. More of wake up vibe with the raspberry, but a fade to black gradient that has a jazz club like night out feel. I guess not a mainstream hit, but more niche, and I guess a lot more people appreciate this one. Longevity is good, but more of a consistent draw-in scent for peeps of your inner circle. It's not a very complex composition, so nothing much to add here, but rather a quick, simple overview. Just my 2 cents. Do let me know your thoughts. Also let me know if you have this gem of a composition in your arsenal, or at least are willing to give it a try after watching this review. Do give me a thumbs up if you take anything of value from this. Keep your smelling game on. Do share your experiences and don't forget to comment. Feel free to ask me any questions and I'll try to answer them to the best of my capabilities. Until the next time, your host Karamullah Kadwani signing out.